WZR Radio starts now. You can join us in the live chat room at WZROnline.com/chat or call into the show at 518-712-3070. Now, here are your hosts, Ryan Clark and Matt Boone.
And we are live. It's Tuesday, October 11, 2011, here on WZR Radio, WZROnline.com. I'm Ryan Clark. He's Matt Boone, and we're going to be here for the next 2 hours talking pro wrestling. We have Monday Night Raw from last night, the big fallout from everybody walking out the previous week. And a lot of news that we have got to talk about as well. So, a lot to do here tonight. Matty Boone, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, now. Yeah, a lot to cover. There was a UFC, too, don't forget. And there was a little pro wrestling mixed in there with Chael Sonnen's big promo after he won and all that. There was some cool stuff this weekend.
A really good UFC pay-per-view, man. That was crazy.
Yeah, every fight was pretty good for the most part, yeah.
They were really good, man. And you kind of expected that, going in. That card was stacked from top to bottom. Every fight on paper looked nasty.
Yeah, there was something interesting about every fight, and the styles matched up to where you knew it would be fun fights to watch, too.
How about those Detroit Lions, Matty Boone?
How about the Detroit Lions, man? Jesus Christ, 5-0, undefeated, one of the best teams in the league. Is this the same Detroit Lions that, 2 years ago didn't win a single game the entire season?
0-16, right? Just a couple weeks ago. Yeah, great.
Exact opposite so far this year. I can't fucking believe it. It looks like we're definitely going to the playoffs. I don't see them dropping several games in a row.
Don't jinx yourself, dude.
No, we have a hard game this Sunday too with San Francisco. That's not going to be easy. They're 4-1.
So. We've got the Giants coming up on Sunday.
How are the Giants doing this year? I don't even know.
Not good, dude. Eli's garbage, man. Eli's
awful.
So I don't know, dude. I guess we'll talk a little bit about football. We didn't have a pay-per-view on Sunday, so we got.
Thank God, first one in a while where we haven't had two shows in a row.
But you know what? We got back-to-back pay-per-views coming up the next 2 weekends.
3 weekends, because the third weekend is UFC with GSP versus Carlos Condit and Nick Diaz versus BJ Penn. So yeah, every weekend for the rest of the month we got something to do.
Pretty much, man. And the WWE pay-per-views, dude, it's like you have one, and then 2 weeks later you've got another one, and then 3 weeks later you've got another one, and then you've got Survivor Series coming up.
It's crap. I mean, we'll talk about Raw and everything, but Jesus Christ, what do we got? I think they announced today, I want to say November 14th is when The Rock is coming in.
That's, he'll be at Survivor Series, right, which is at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. No, they announced he'd be at Raw in Boston in November.
Right, but that's the night after Survivor Series.
Oh, it is? Okay, yeah, but either way, I can't wait for that guy to come back, because, Jesus, we need something to stand out from all this crap. It's just, it's childish. It's like the old days when I first started watching wrestling. It's definitely geared for kids now.
Well, the first 30 minutes of Raw last night was good, and then Vince McMahon came out, and everything was back to normal, and it was like, oh, man, dude, it's the same old Raw again,
Kind of. I mean, they had, like, Christian versus Morrison, and they're wearing jeans and shit. That was different, and they did the Jim Ross thing. They did the, big matches like Orton versus Henry. Didn't Henry just say, like, a week or two ago he's never going to wrestle Orton again or whatever, so they killed that off already. CM Punk is watered down to just being another guy. Triple H is clearly a standout guy,
well, it's like,
especially now he's a wrestler again.
Okay, The Miz and R-Truth have been off TV for 2 weeks, right? Yes. So they've already brought them back. 2 weeks, bang, okay? Already brought them back. You've got CM Punk and Triple H who have been at each other's throats, dude, for the last couple months, right? All of a sudden, they're best friends.
Oh, yeah, best buds. Long-lost pals.
And it's like, dude, it's no long-term booking, dude. That's the problem. We
give it another week, and Nash will come out, and Punk and Nash will be, doing the Wolfpack sign together and shit. Like, what? What the fuck?
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. So, we'll talk about all that. We'll run down Monday night. This is the plan. We'll run down...
What's the plan?
Here's the plan, Stan.
All right.
We'll run down Monday Night Raw from last night. By the way, I gotta tell you, last week, bro, on this show, dude, about halfway through this show, man, and everybody say, yeah, go get sleep, blah, 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 blah. Bro, if you had set Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday...
You were up all night still?
Dude, I was on the couch, man. I'd go to the couch, I'd lay down, and then I'd get up for about, I don't know, an hour. I'd come back to the computer, put up the news, go back, lay down, dude. And it was just, I had this flu, dude, and it was...
It rocked you, huh?
It rocked me. It rocked me. And I didn't, it hit me last Tuesday night during, like, hour number 2 of this show, dude.
You got it scientifically down to, like, the exact minute that it hit you?
I just remember.
I got the flu Tuesday night, October 3rd.
You don't remember last week? Well, you were tanked.
Dude, I was drunk off my ass. I can't believe that was last week, the Sleepy Ryan show. Okay, I thought it was the week before.
No, man, that was last week. I remember hour 2, and I said, yo, I don't think I can do this, man. I don't think I can do it. And we got out of here like 10 minutes early. But, man, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, dude, I could not get up. I couldn't go to Facebook, dude. I couldn't make any posts. It was
yeah, you weren't even online. It was weird. Normally you're always on.
Yeah, I couldn't. It was bad, man. But anyways, so I came down with the flu, right? And I had stayed up because Tuesday night I would go to bed, blah, 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 blah. And I stayed up and I waited for the programmer for PWSforums.com, right? I told you guys we were like 90% done, right? It was only like 10%, 15% that we still had to do. So I waited up until like 3 a.m. And finally I said, yeah, I can't do this, dude. I've got to go lay down, dude. I feel like shit. Wednesday was horrible, dude. And he comes around Wednesday night. The programmer comes around, and I had to get up, dude. Got to get the forms fixed, and we fixed them on Wednesday night. So after that was done, I said, "Fuck it, man. The news and that sort of stuff can wait, dude. I'll come back every 5 or 6 hours and put up the news. You know what I mean?"
Yeah.
But moral of the story is, I'm better. Forums are back up, and everything's fixed, dude. So
everything's finally behind you. You got it all done.
It's all done, dude. It's all
there you go.
Yeah, so PWSforums.com is back, and
you got the new WZR. You got to switch this chat page, though. You got to get this on the new design.
Here's what we're going to do. Well, before we get into Raw, right, I wanted to do this a couple weeks ago when we launched the new website, the new WZROnline.com, right? I wanted to take everybody through, and we started to do that, and then it went down, right? The server crashed right in the middle of it.
Yeah, but when it came back, we did it again, I think.
No, we've never done it again from that point. So we're going to do that. We'll take you through the new design, and hopefully you guys can help us out. We need the Facebook and the tweets and that sort of stuff, and the comments and everything else to make it more interactive. So we'll run that down. Like I said, I'm reading this. I put together a little thing here. Sickness is gone. Forums are back up. We're going to do a site rundown. Football, dude.
You got some bullet points over there?
I got bullet points. That's
yeah.
I got in a notepad. The bands, the chat room bands. Everybody, dude, I get emails every single. I was banned from the chat room. Blah 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 blah. I don't ban anybody. I don't have time to ban. We're doing a live radio show, okay? That's why we have mods in the chat room, and they take care of the bands. Listen, don't do anything to get yourself banned. Then you won't have to email. Just be cool. You know what I mean, dude? I cleared the bans. I went in there. There was like 40-something bans, and I took them all off, all IP bans and everything else.
How many bans?
Like 40-something, man. It's only been a couple weeks, so it's crazy. Don't do anything to get banned. Just be cool, and the mods won't have to ban you.
Yeah, 1 + 1 = 2, motherfuckers. Just play your role.
I'm trying to help you out. You know what I mean? I'll clear them, every couple weeks, but just be cool, man. Everybody's in there to have a good time. Everybody chats wrestling, chats about the show. Just be cool, my man. You know what I'm saying? And we won't have to worry about it. So everybody's cleared. Everybody can come back in the chat room. It's WZROnline.com/chat. Once again, WZROnline.com/chat. Get there, and everybody starts with a clean slate tonight, and we'll do it again, I don't know, in a couple months from now. But don't get yourself banned, and it'll be all right. So football, dude, here's the deal. Your Detroit Lions played last night against the Chicago Bears. You and Brian, right? Still got.
Yeah, I already rubbed it in his face.
Did you?
Oh yeah, big time.
Good game. Here's the problem. The Buffalo Bills, we won too, dude. We beat up on Philadelphia, the Eagles, dude, who have looked. I mean, they've got like a dream team, right? Everybody said going into the season, Philly's got a dream team, blah 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 blah. Michael Vick, Deshaun Jackson, everybody, Jeremy Maclin, everybody out there. And they suck, dude. And here's the problem.
That was the thing. I remember the Lakers stacked up their roster one year. They had Shaq. They had fucking Kobe. They had Karl Malone, Gary Payton, like all this super team. And then they ended up doing worse than they were doing with just Shaq and Kobe.
The only dream team ever in America. No. In America is the dream team that went to the Olympics in...
Oh, yeah. Jordan and all those guys.
They had everybody, and they destroyed everybody. I think the average amount of points that they beat other teams by were like 44 points or something.
Yeah, like 40-something. Yeah.
That is the only dream team that's ever... No one else...
Well, they had Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, fucking Dennis... I mean, they had everybody on that team.
Yeah, dude, and then everybody, they bring it out, well, this is a dream team, blah, blah, blah. No. That was the only dream team, was that basketball team that, that went to the Olympics.
I agree.
Anyways, so we beat up on Philly, dude, and the problem Buffalo has, I know that we're 4-1, okay? We've only got one loss, but we don't look like a 4-1 team. It's like we'll get out to a good lead, and then we blow it in the second half. It's like we shut down, but Buffalo's got no defense. So even though we're 4-1, we don't look like a 4-1 team. And
Detroit kind of got the same thing going on because they start off getting pummeled, and then you get scared, they're going to lose like always, and then somehow they pull it off.
Yeah, see, the difference between watching the Buffalo game on Sunday and the Detroit game last night is you guys look like a 5-0 team. The Buffalo Bills don't look like a 4-1 team. We look like a 2-3 team. You know what I mean?
Detroit was finally on TV, and I didn't even get to see it. I was so pissed. I had to text you and ask you who won.
That's right. Where were you?
I was at what's-her-face's house getting drunk.
So you didn't watch Raw?
No, I watched it today. I have a very different opinion, I think, than what most people have. I was talking to you while I was watching it.
I thought it was okay. I thought the first 30 minutes was okay. And then
I thought it was... I don't want to say great, but I thought it was really good. It was different. It wasn't the same shit that you get every week, pretty much.
Yeah.
The way they started it off and some of the things they were doing, it was different stuff at least.
Cheeks 182 in the chat says Boone is always drunk. Not tonight. Boone is...
Not tonight, no. I'm here. I'm here, ready to rock and roll.
Sober as can be.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. Not
sober as a whistle. What's the expression? I don't know.
Sober as a
cucumber, something.
Sober as a cucumber.
Sober as a cucumber, sober as a spoon.
Sober as a rock. A rock is sober. Rock,
yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
Cucumbers don't get high either. I mean, they're green, but...
It could be sober as my Mountain Dew.
Yeah, sober as your Mountain Dew. Well, there's a lot of caffeine in there. That's not really sober. You get a little hyper.
Listen, dude. You drink caffeine, you're still like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
I got a Czech cherry cola over here. That's what I'm working with.
You know what, dude? All right. I lost track. Anyways, get to our live chat room, WZROnline.com/chat. Once again, WZROnline.com/chat. Lots and lots of people in there tonight. Speaking of football, dude, we have to bring this up. Al Davis of the Oakland Raiders passed away at the age of 82 on Saturday. Which is a...
Well, you gotta tell me who this guy is, Steve Jobs, because like you said, everybody's on Facebook's writing about how Steve Jobs died. I don't know who the fuck Steve Jobs is. Who is it? Apple something or other? I don't know who that dude is.
Thing you guys say on fucking Facebook, facepalm, right? Facepalm, right? This dude says, who the fuck is Steve Jobs? Did you really just say, who is Steve Jobs?
I don't know who Steve Jobs, dude. Who is it?
You don't? Are you serious?
He's something to do with Apple and internets and computers, and
bro,
I don't know.
Steve Jobs, okay. Let me compare this guy. He's the founder...
Like Bill Gates or something?
Right, dude, he is the Alexander Graham Bell or the Thomas Edison of our generation.
Did he create the internet? Is that what he did?
He created pretty much the... Okay, he's got Apple, okay, the iPod, the iPad, the iPhone, the iTouch, blah, 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 okay? And this guy, the way that we communicate and the way that we use technology now, it's like Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone, obviously. Thomas Edison, electricity, okay? This guy pretty much took a computer. I mean, you look at, right now, in America, almost every household in America has a computer.
Man, we got two in here.
And Steve Jobs is one of the main geniuses behind that, man. I mean, he just innovated. It's crazy, dude.
And guess what? He did all that stuff. I don't know who the fuck Steve Jobs is. Rest in peace, brother. But I don't know yet.
I cannot believe. But you know who Thomas Edison is, and you know who Alexander...
I'm not a dickhead, dude. Yeah, they were in social studies books in school and stuff. Steve Jobs didn't make the cut.
I guarantee you, within 15 or 20 years, when your kids, you ain't having kids, but fuck it, dude, when somebody else's kids are going up through high school, Steve Jobs will be in that category of Alexander Graham Bell and Thomas Edison, dude. He's revolutionized technology, man.
Big deal.
Yeah, no, man, big deal. Get the fuck that's Boone for you. No idea who Steve Jobs is.
I see a million face palms, and I don't even know what that means either, but, I'm retarded, I'll admit it.
All right, so here we go. Oh, here's two people that, well, we have to talk about Tomko. You know,
Your boy.
Me and Tomko, for those that don't know, Tomko is a good friend.
Like another Big Vito. Y'all get along real well off the air.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine and has been for quite some time. And the story came out today, and it's not good. And just because the guy's a friend of mine, we're gonna run it down. I've got the police report up in front of me. And
what was he busted for? What, smoking crack in a McDonald's bathroom or something?
Yeah,
what was
it? The Oxycontins and dude.
Chilies. Yeah, I know the story. I was just making a joke.
So we've got that, and I'm not going to be biased or anything like that. We've got the police report, and that's got some more details. So we're going to talk about that. I have contacted him. He is still in jail. Which means I cannot get a hold of him. I've contacted him via email and via text message, nothing back. Obviously, he's in jail, so he doesn't have a cell phone.
I was going to say, what do you expect?
All right, but I am waiting.
I got one phone call. Bob, can I call Ryan Clark real quick, guys?
Yeah, I don't think that's happening. He's been going through personal problems for a while, with a wife and everything else. So yeah. I think it finally caught up to him. But once I hear from him, we'll put that up on the website. And he's got the mentality. He's got like the Big Vito mentality, where even if I contact him, and even if I've got the police report in front of me, it's... Is he
going to email you and ask you to change the story? Hey, take that down. That's not what happened.
It's going to be like that. Exactly.
That's why I don't talk to them people. It was Snitsky or somebody like that tried emailing me once to change something, and I just ignored him. Get the fuck out of here. I don't give a shit. I'm not impressed by Snitsky. Come on.
It's just going to be a case of I didn't do this and denial. It's the same thing where, I had reported, dude, he was released from TNA. Dude, I'm not fired from TNA, dude. They didn't cut me, bro. Blah, blah, blah. They told me, dude, I'm taking a break. You're not taking a break, dude. You got released, and you don't want it out there on the dirt sheets that you got fired, dude, that they fired you. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a case of that with him. The other one, another friend of mine, this started off fairly bad, and we ended on a good note. Tammy Stitch.
I remember all that. That was funny.
Sonny has major problems as well, and I've emailed her and have not heard back from her either. So we're gonna talk about both Tomko and Sonny, and I'm not gonna be biased and anything like that. And
sure.
I'm positive. So we'll get into both of those. We also had a WWE Wellness Policy suspension. Darren Young was suspended last week for violating the wellness policy, as I just said, and the Jim Ross firing from last night on Monday Night Raw. We're going to talk about that a little bit more as well. So, some
who was the chick with the voicemail? Was that Tracy Brooks, I want to say?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I just remember there was a big voicemail that was funny. That was right at the same time as the Tammy Stitch stuff.
That was the Kaz and Tracy Brooks stuff.
Yeah.
Kaz is not a big fan of me either.
Fuck him.
Fuck him, what are you going to do? Anyway, so we're going to give you some more exclusive details, what I know about Sonny and Tomko, and, we'll get into that. Monday Night Raw as well from last night. Before we get into Raw, we've got to do...
Did you just clap your hands? You're wearing a headset. You clap your hands. You're all professional.
No, I took... You know what? I took a sip of soda and actually ice water here, and clapped my hands after.
Oh, yeah. I remember when I did the show, in person with you. You sit up and you smack the desk and you clap your hands and
dude, get the fuck out of here.
You get into it, man. You're like Jim Ross rocking back and forth while he's doing commentary or something. Okay. Hey, now.
Let's get to, all right, so here we go. We've got to do this rundown because I need your guys' help with the new WZROnline.com. So, do this with me. Load up another browser. All right, Boone, you too. Get on.
I had it up. I thought you weren't going to do it. I closed it just now.
Come on, let's do it. Get it.
All right.
Browser up. Type in that top bar, www.WZROnline.com. .com. We get in there, it loads, thank God, server's up, working, everything's good. Alright, now, let's run this down. Bear with me, you guys in the chat room, everybody listening live, just go to the website, check it out. It's brand new design, a lot of new features, and we're going to run it down. Here we go. Obviously, the top logo, we're thinking about changing that. It's kind of, I don't know, dude, it's got the headset, it's got the WZR blue letters, blah, 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 blah. Nah, not all that good, right?
I kind of like it, but yeah, I guess it could be better.
Yeah, it kind of sucks, dude. Top navigation bar, you've got the home, the headlines, media, photos, columns, etc., etc., etc. Right on the top, you can use them to navigate around the website. Scroll down a little bit. You'll see recent posts. Over on the left-hand side, you'll see the double WZR logo right now. Obviously, we've got the chat post and the live thing. What's going to happen is the top 9 posts over here on the left-hand side where you see the big images, those will be the top 9 headlines, like within the last hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, just the top 9 headlines. Once more headlines are posted over the top of those will be bumped over to the right-hand side. The image will automatically shrink itself down, and then all the older headlines, I don't want to say older because they're still from the same day or the day before, but they'll be bumped over to that right column. So you see what I'm saying? You get the main headlines, and then they get bumped over to the right. All right?
What'd you post, like 38 times today? I see October 11th everywhere.
October 11th, there's been a lot of posts today. What is going on? Roman, what are you doing, buddy? I'm doing live radio, brother.
Roman.
That's my sister's boyfriend. He's got a little 3-year-old here, man. I'll tell you what, that kid loves to fight, man. He loves his wrestling. He loves to fight.
Really?
He's the man, bro. He's like a little pilot, bro. He just loves to fucking fight. So anyway, why do I always get distracted when I'm trying to do this? So anyways, you've got the headlines, right? Over on the right-hand side, you see the subscribe button, the Twitter, the Facebook, right? You go there. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. What is it? Follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, spike your hair, woo, woo, woo. You know it? No?
I don't know what he does. I'm assuming Zack Ryder. I don't know.
Something like that, dude. Subscribe to us on WZROnline.com. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook. Spike that hair, woo, woo, woo. It's Ryan Clark.
Woo, woo, woo.
Woo, woo, woo. You know it. All right, so you scroll down, you've got the shout box, right? That's the little chat box that everybody goes and you chat it up, do your thing in there. Under that, you've got the recent galleries. Matt Boone putting up galleries on a daily basis pretty much. You've got, you put some new ones up today, huh?
You got damn right to put some new ones up today.
There you go, brother. Tomko's mugshot from the arrest earlier this morning. You've got the Bella Twins, sexy bikinis. You've got Batista's new full back tattoo. I haven't even seen any of these, my man. You put these up. So
his entire back's covered in a tattoo. Now, he always had a big one, but then now it's his entire back is a picture now. It's retarded.
Yeah, see, so if you want to see that, you go to WZROnline.com over on the right-hand side, recent galleries. You go down there, you find the link that you want to click, and bang, you can go view it. You keep scrolling down on the right-hand side. You've got popular and tags. We've got to take that off. We're going to replace that with something else because that's...
Really? I kind of like that thing.
Well, it's going by comments. You see how it's got 504, blah, blah, blah. It should go by,
views?
Page
yeah.
Right.
Well, this is weird. Like, the second most popular thing is archive of our show from a year and a couple months ago.
Yeah, but it's comments and it's a lot of spam comments.
Yeah.
It's a spam bot. So we got to take that off. And then the archives, Daniel Humphreys, I believe it is, he puts those up pretty much the day after or 2 days after on Tuesday, right? Then you've got the Facebook stuff below that. And then below all the news boards, basically the same thing that's over on the right-hand side. You've got the recent galleries. There's 10 of them here. You've got the archive WZRs. There's 10 of them there. And that is that. So pretty much it's simple. I didn't want to change much from the old design because people like to come to the website, they like to get the news, and then they like to get the fuck out of there.
They like familiarity, yes.
Yeah, man, so I didn't want to change too much, and basically this gives you, it's on a white background, so it's a lot easier to read the text and everything else, and it's just a lot cleaner. So we cleaned it up, and we're good to go, you know what I mean? Check out WZROnline.com, and it's interactive. Oh, and here's the thing. Click one of the headlines, just any headline, okay? Figures any ad pops up. Click the headline. Over on the left-hand side, you see where it says tweet, you see where it says like, dig, email, +1, whatever, and then the comments underneath it.
Yep.
Hit the tweet button, hit the like button on Facebook, share these things. The more you guys share, the more people on Facebook get to view these posts, and they'll come to the website, and then we can build this site up even more, bring more people, get it more interactive, and it'll just be a better site in general. The more people comment inside posts, and the more people tweet, the more people Facebook, blah, 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 the more traffic and the more fans. And
the more money.
Yeah, the more, just you know what I mean, WZROnline.com, and it's all redesigned. So there you go. Thanks for...
Did you just clap your hands again?
I did.
He finished his big commercial, and he does his professional clap. Alrighty.
Well, there. I've been waiting to do that for a couple weeks, but I finally got that out of the way. Anyways, let's get into wrestling, and then in hour number 2, I'll tell you what. We've got about half an hour to get through Monday Night Raw, dude. We'll do that, and then we'll talk about, I don't know, one of the big stories, Tomko or Sonny, before we go to the break, and then we'll go from there.
All right, callers in hour 2, all that good stuff. I'm down.
Callers in hour number 2. Quick plugs. Obviously, you guys know the official website of WZR Radio is WZROnline.com. You can find us on Facebook.com. Go to Facebook.com. Do a search on the top bar there for WZR Army. I will give out the live phone number here in just a little bit. And the live chat room, WZROnline.com/chat. Get there, daddy.
I knew Daddy was coming.
All right.
Daddy.
All right. It's Monday Night Raw from last night. What'd you think, man? Top
I
5?
want to see everybody's school letter grade. By the way, Vendetta, the entire time you were doing the instructional with your website, he's got like a screenshot of your website on the video player, and he's like moving it around where you're talking about and like showing people for them and shit.
Can I clap?
He's good. You can clap for that. That deserves applause.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
No.
And but no, I want to see everybody's school letter grade for Raw because I've read a lot of feedback where they said it was like the worst ever, and I thought it was way better than it has been.
Wow, a lot of Fs. Are you serious, man?
A lot of Fs.
They're just doing that because I say don't give it an F. Don't ever give it an F. You know?
I don't know. A lot of people really seem to think it was the worst show ever. I didn't. I really didn't.
I thought it was okay. I thought the first half hour, 40 minutes was okay, and then it was back to your basic Monday Night Raw. And not only that, but the rating came out, right? And they drew like a 3.5 in hour number 1, which means everybody tuned in to see what was going to happen, man. I mean, we talked about it last week, man. Me, you, and Raj, we were like, yo, what is going to happen next week? I mean, obviously Triple H is going to come out, start the show, and there's going to be an arena full of fans, and there's going to be no talent, other than the talent that didn't walk out last week on Raw, you know?
Yeah, but I liked it too the way they started it with the camera. Like I noticed a lot of the camera work last night or today when I watched it for some reason. Like they've always had good camera work, good production, but it just stood out to me for some reason. The way they followed them backstage, then out to the ring, and they would pan around people's faces while they're doing promos in the ring throughout the show. And I don't know, I just noticed that.
Hey, real quick, just got a note here from producer Vendetta. You've got the TNA Bound for Glory pay-per-view coming up this Sunday night on pay-per-view. Everybody always asks me, what about stream sites, blah, 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 blah. You can go to www.WSNlive.com, WSNlive.com, and you pay something like $10, $15, and you get the entire month of pay-per-views for free, basically UFC, WWE, TNA, and you've got back-to-back pay-per-views coming up, so now would be a good time to go and do that. WSNlive.com, Bound for Glory and Vengeance live streams.
There you go. Always reliable, too.
No doubt. So, Monday Night Raw, right? They kicked it off. Well, school letter grade. Actually, we'll do that. We'll do that later. Later. They cut backstage, right? Nobody's around, and Triple H walks out of his office, and I'm kind of like, yo, I can't believe no one's here. You know what I mean? He comes out to the ring, right? And he asks the fans, should I give in? And everybody says no. He says...
Crowd was really behind him. Like, they popped huge when he came out. They all chanted no, like little kids when he said, should I quit, and this and that. They were really with him.
I think Triple H has one of those, it's like an entrance theme, right? I know that, even during the promo, they were still with him. But Triple H's got that entrance theme.
It's called a road warrior pop. Like, they pop just for the sound of the music. Like, no matter what, they're going to pop. Cena's got that, too, but it's like a mixed bag reaction.
Right. But I think everybody cheers for Cena, and then it turns into boos. Like, everybody hears the initial music, and they're like, yeah, baby! And then it's
It's like it's a battle between the demographics in the audience. Like the little kids immediately scream when they hear it, the same way they would when Jeff Hardy would come out or any of the other kiddie kind of characters. And then the older group starts to drown them out, and like they compete back and forth. Gee, boo! And
right.
It sounds cool. I've never been. I don't think I've ever been in the arena when Cena has come out before. I don't think so.
I've been there numerous times, man. You know what I put up on my Facebook?
I guess he had to have been.
Yeah, I put up on my Facebook page last night, dude, the Heyman promo with Vince McMahon.
Yeah, I watched that, and I ended up watching the whole thing.
Right before Survivor Series, dude. You know, I was front row there. Did you see me?
Yeah.
I am clearly on camera numerous times.
You were clearly on camera during the famous beer truck thing, too, in Albany. Like, you were right in the front row there as well.
Yeah, the old beer truck, man. God, I
really...
Did
you get sprayed with beer when that happened? Because the beer was going everywhere. Did it get the crowd wet?
Everywhere, man. It got anybody that was on the floor was blasted, especially when it
really?
hose.
Little kids getting blasted with beer, that just...
Yeah, but you know what, dude, that was back in the Attitude Era. You know what I mean? They didn't give a fuck then. And it was
they had attitude, as Paul Heyman said. Right. You got nothing, man.
You got nothing, dude. Listen, go watch that promo. Facebook.com/Ryan Clark WZR. It's up there on my Facebook page. That is one of the best promos. I mean, God, it makes you miss the days of the Attitude Era. You know, when we grew up. You know. Big
time, dude. Big time.
Yeah.
I told you my favorite part was right before. It had to have been like a cue word for Taz to wait for it, hear that, to then choke him or whatever, because he came up from behind him. And he's like right in Vince's face. There's not a damn thing you can do about it.
Right.
I'm feeling good about myself. And then boom, he slaps the choke on. Like, yeah, that's gangster.
So what? Triple H says I'm not going to be blackmailed and I'm not going to be coerced to quit. He says I'll come out here and I'll wrestle a broomstick for the next 2 hours, and it would probably give a better match to most of the guys in the parking lot.
That's pretty fucking insulting. Like, he just called the entire roster shit wrestlers.
Pretty much. But it's Triple H. You should be used to that. You know?
Yeah, no surprise.
John Cena shows up, right? And he wants everyone to know where he stood. He said that the people in the parking lot were lobbying him to come out there and join them, and he says, I'm not going to do that.
This is a typical Cena promo. I'm a good stand-up, honest guy.
I'm going to honor my boss. You're my boss, and I'm going to honor what you say. Sheamus comes out next, right? And he says, you know, they've had feuds in the past, and, you know, Sheamus tried to make a name for himself off Triple H. Triple H basically came out and beat the shit out of him. And Sheamus can respect him for that, right?
Yeah, he thinks he's a good fella. He's a good fella. I can't do that.
A good fella, right.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be out there in the parking lot. That brings out CM Punk, right? And, God, he says, you know, I'm basically the one that started this whole thing. And he said that, you know, WWE is about settling conflicts in the ring, and you know.
He pointed out how when he walked out, he didn't walk out on the company. His contract expired, and he was going to leave or whatever. But yeah, so he was like, "That's not the same thing that's going on now. I didn't walk out. I don't walk out."
So you've got the three guys and Triple H, right, who are all out there, and they all agree that we're not going out to the parking lot. So Triple H says, "All right, we'll have CM Punk go over to the announce booth and be the timekeeper." Right, and
as long as he can wear Triple H's jacket.
Right, and Triple H has already
whatever that was.
Triple H has already got you know, stripes on, right? So he'll be the referee for the match, and then we'll have John Cena versus Sheamus in a one-on-one match. And CM Punk goes over to the commentating booth, rings the bell, does his thing, and we head to a commercial break. Right?
Yes.
We come back.
All correct.
We come back from that commercial break, and.
No chance.
No chance. No chance in hell hits, and Vince McMahon comes out to the ring, right?
I popped for that. I remember when we went to SmackDown in Albany once. We were right on the aisle where the guys come out.
Right.
Like right there on the aisle, like nobody was next to us, so we could literally like touch the guys or whatever.
Right.
And we didn't mark out and do that, but when Vince came out, it was later in the show. I was drunk. I'm not gonna lie, I was quite tipsy. And you know, even
Boone drunk, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, shocker. But even when we were roommates in New York, when we would watch Raw on TV, we would pop when Vince came out and start strutting and stomping down the aisle. We'd be like, "Yo, go Vince, go!"
Good days, man. When you watch Raw these days, it's like, oh man.
I know what happened, dude. But yeah, I just remember being at SmackDown when Vince came out, and I was flipping out like, "You're the man, dude. Look how he's walking. He's so fucking cool."
Vince looked good last night, man. Vince looked, you know, he dyed his hair for one. Definitely
he dyed his hair.
Definitely had the hair done. But
I like how he's the guy that came out to tell Triple H that he's relieved of the dude or whatever. Like, he just got fired. He didn't get rehired, so he technically doesn't even work in the company. But he's responsible for telling the boss that he's no longer the boss.
And why is Vince talking to the board of directors again?
About what? Like, as a fan? You know, why is he?
Right. The fans now, yeah.
Don't try and find logic. Like, don't look for real logic in any of this shit. Because clearly they're changing their minds every week and just switching directions. Let's not forget a month ago, Nash was texting people and shit. Like, what the fuck? What is going on?
Dude, it's crazy. If you guys honestly can't look at WWE television and flat out see that on a weekly basis, I mean, there is like a script when they come to yesterday's Raw script, dude. They had a script going into Raw yesterday, and almost none of what was originally planned was used, dude. And it's like, you've got to be kidding me. There's got to be some sort of long-term direction, and there's none. There is absolutely none.
And the worst part is, it should have been so obvious. When CM Punk cut that initial fucking shoot promo on Raw, when he sat at the top of the ramp Indian style, Native American style, and he cut that promo, from that point on, it was clear that do the same thing he did with Stone Cold with CM Punk. Give him an authority figure. If it's got to be Triple H, that's fine. It would have been better as Vince, but it would have seemed like a copycat off.
Didn't we say, I said something a couple weeks ago, and I don't remember what we were talking about the CM Punk Triple H thing, I guess, or the main WWE storyline, and I said, you know what? No matter what they do, they're going to find a way to fuck it up. They're going to find a way to...
Well, and clearly they're going out of their way, and it seems, I mean, I don't know anything, but it seems like Triple H's fingerprints are all over that shit, too.
It's almost like you said, it's almost like they're going out of their way to fuck it up. I mean, how can a group of people sit in a room or sit up at Titan Towers on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? Have a rough draft coming off the weekend, go to Monday Night Raw, and then none of that is being used.
I mean, CM Punk, like I said, it should have been obvious. Give him an authority figure. He defies authority. I mean, you got a whole year right there. But what they did was they have Triple H come out and pretty much milk all of CM Punk's charisma, like all the fan reaction to him. Like Triple H is kind of cutting in on that. You know what I mean? Like it should be the other way around. They should be trying to get Punk boosted. Instead, they're taking what he's got and using it to get Triple H boosted when he doesn't need it.
Dave Lagana, okay, who is a former WWE creative writer.
He has something to do with Ring of Honor now, right?
Right, a producer for Ring of Honor.
Yeah, he emails me every fucking day.
Oh my God, I get it all the time. Okay, he does a show with Lillian Garcia and Maria. It's called AfterBuzz, and they do it after Monday Night Raw. And I watched this last night, and Dave was like, he's like, dude, we would have a script written, okay? And he's saying the exact same thing. And this is a former creative writer, okay? He's saying the exact same thing that we're telling you guys, where they would have a script and everything up at Titan Towers obviously goes through Vince McMahon, right? And everything is approved, and Vince goes and he approves it, and everything's fine and dandy.
Or he makes little changes to it, but yeah.
Right, little changes, right? But before they go to Raw, they've got a script, and then they get on the airplane to head towards Raw, McMahon's private jet, okay? And everything changes on that Monday. And then they get to Raw, and Vince says, what is this? And the creative team says, it's the shit that you approved just 3 or 4 days ago up at Titan Towers. But once Monday comes around, it's like Vince forgets everything that's happened over the past week. And they get to Raw, and they go into meetings, and by the time those meetings are over, you've got a completely different script than what you had when those guys got on the private jet and headed towards Raw. So
this is not just for storylines. We're talking matches, too, because CM Punk was on that MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani 2 weeks ago, I want to say, maybe 3. Right. And he was backstage at Raw during the time. They're testing pyro, etc. And just for shits and giggles, Helwani asked him who he was wrestling that night. And Punk literally said, he said, I don't know. It was supposed to be, I forget who. And he said, they changed it. I'm waiting to find out now. And this was like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, he didn't even know who he was wrestling at.
And we're talking like 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon where that script does not come out. People don't know what the fuck is going on at Raw 2 to 3 hours before you go on live national television.
If you're a wrestler, you got to kind of, I mean, you don't really have to plan out a match. You can call it in the ring live, but it's nice to have a few ideas before you go in there. And if you don't even know you're wrestling, like, for example, if the Punk's original opponent that night was supposed to be Mysterio, and then they changed it to Mark Henry. You know the differences he's gonna have to make in the ring with a little tiny guy versus a huge. You can't do a body slam.
And then they go out there and have a shitty match, and then they come backstage behind the curtains and they get lashed out by management for having a shitty match, and it's like, yo.
Well, it's the same with promos. They lash out on him for having a bad promo. It's like, you made me say this shit. Like, maybe if I would have cut my own promo, it would have been good. You told me to go say this.
You're not going to say that. You know what you're going to say, dude? If somebody comes up to you in WWE, if a member of management in WWE comes up to you and gets right in your face, dude, almost spitting in your face, screaming at you, yelling, what the fuck is wrong, blah, blah. I'm sorry. My apologies. You suck it up, dude, because if you raise your voice, if you
feel like Lita or Matt Hardy or something one year backstage, like she made a comment and that he ended up being in the doghouse for like a month or two after that.
Right. You're not gonna say something to a member of management if you want to keep your job or if you want to continue your push.
Keep your spot. Yeah.
It's all politics, man. It's politics.
Well, that gets back to the original CM Punk thing. I think it's politics that's keeping him down big time from Triple H.
Well, CM Punk is, in the last couple months, now we're going into, CM Punk is right back to where he was. You know what, dude? It was almost like, okay, we'll lure you into signing a contract, right? We'll give you a main event storyline, right? And they did. Granted, they did, okay? They basically, what I'm trying to say is that
you're exactly right, too.
WWE said, okay, we will give you, okay, if you come and you re-sign with us, we will catapult you into a main event position. They did exactly that. CM Punk's all happy, yeah, I'm a main eventer now. A couple months goes by, they've got him under contract, and they say, ha, gotcha, motherfucker, you're under contract, and we can do whatever we want with you right now. And you're going back to fucking tag team matches, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, any smart businessman, even if that was the plan, okay, we're gonna give this guy everything he wants just so he'll re-sign, and then when he's done re-signing, we're gonna put him back to where he was.
Right.
The second he gets over the way he got over, you should call an audible and say, you know what, we were gonna put him back down in the mid tag teams, etc., but this motherfucker's over like Rover. Let's go with it. They couldn't even do that. Like, they were so committed to their fuck you-isms, like same thing with Jim Ross last night. They're in Oklahoma, they gotta fire. Forget this fact that the announcing is gonna suck dick on pay-per-views now and on Raw every week. We gotta fire JR because we're in Oklahoma. Like, they're idiots.
No, you know what it was, dude? Okay, first of all, we've got to fire Jim Ross because we're in Oklahoma. I understand that.
We were just talking about that a week ago, how they always fuck with him in Oklahoma, and then this happens.
Of course. You knew they were going to fuck with him in Oklahoma, but keep in mind this, dude, okay? Vince McMahon, think about the mind of Vince McMahon. And inside Vince McMahon, okay, Jim Ross used to be the former head of talent relations, okay?
It was John Laurinaitis, yeah.
Now you've got John Laurinaitis. So in Vince's head, Vince is thinking, we're in Oklahoma City tonight. I've got my new head of talent relations. Jim Ross has no idea that this is coming. He says,
his wife is in the fucking front row. She has no idea.
He says, Johnny, you go out there and you call Jim Ross into the ring, and Jim Ross has got no idea at this point. It wasn't in the script.
Make sure to throw in some Oklahoma insults, call him an ingrate, all kinds of shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Throw in a couple jokes and then say...
By the way, Michael Cole on commentary. Start making fun of him.
Dude, you know what? I thought, man, when Jim Ross left the ring, right, and he went back to the announce booth, right, and I'm thinking, I'm begging him. I'm saying, Jim, take that fucking headset, get on that thing and say, you know what? Fuck you, Vince. Fuck WWE. I'm bouncing. Peace. Get out. They fucked him so much.
That's the move.
They have fucked him so many times, over and over and over. But the dude is too professional. He's too nice of a guy.
He even tipped his hat to him after he did it and everything. Like, he's a class guy.
You know, or they cut, like Rygal in the chat says, they probably, as soon as he put that headset down, as soon as Laurinaitis called him into the ring, they cut his mic, or they cut the
headset mic, yeah, that way he can't, yeah.
So he can't go back to the announce booth and yell something into there.
Well, you would still hear it through, like, Lawler.
Through Lawler and Cole, right, you're right.
He would have to really be throwing a big temper tantrum and yelling, though.
It's just such a fucking slap in the face of Jim Ross, dude. But
well, like I said, okay, if you want to fuck with him, all right, that's fine. If you have to fuck with him. But, like, do something embarrassing. Make him kiss Vince's ass, something like that again. Your product's going to suffer because you have to fuck with this guy. Because now your announcing is all different for pay-per-views and TV every week.
Vince does not care. Vince is all about Michael Cole, dude, being the future.
I hate that fucking guy. I hate him.
Yeah, but he's the future of WWE. And Vince, you've got to understand that 75% of the shit that Michael Cole says is fed to him, man. That stuff is coming directly from Vince McMahon. And, you know, Vince probably feels Cole is my guy. Cole is my guy that I can feed these lines to, and he comes across as this arrogant prick, and that's exactly what Vince wants. Vince is the one that's feeding them the lines, so Vince wants that. That's exactly...
Well, that, and it's always notorious that Vince hates Southerners and the accents and shit like that, so he probably hates that. His lead announcers, welcome to WWE Raw, you know, he probably hates that shit.
You know what I mean, dude? It's a case of Vince is in Cole's ear, and, you know, I mean, they're not going to change it, especially if Vince is the one that's feeding these lines to Cole, and he is, dude, so he's not...
I like Ryder for Life's comment in the chat. He says JR is going to be the replacement GM for Johnny Ace. I doubt they do that, but that would be cool.
Well, no, they'll bring something.
Who's it going to be, Mick Foley?
God, remember, that's another thing, dude. The Raw anonymous general manager. Remember that whole thing that they played up and the computer would ring in, this, that?
Yeah, they brought it up. So Cena said his boss was a computer at one point. They actually mentioned Eric Bischoff, which I thought was weird.
That's another case of WWE having a plan, right? We're going to do this anonymous Raw general manager thing, and then it gets thrown to the back burner, and then all of a sudden, hey, we're going to bring this back up or actually, we're just going to make a GM and say John Laurinaitis is now Raw general manager. Forget about that whole anonymous Raw general manager thing that we've been doing for the past year, right, dude? Fuck.
Well, the funny part is it's like it's a clear sign that we don't either whoever we're going to use as GM isn't here or ready yet, like a Foley situation,
right?
Or we don't know yet because they went out of their way to say he's not the GM. He's the interim GM until we find somebody. Like, oh, why didn't you find him yet? What the fuck are you talking about? This is your company. This is the guy running your company. You don't know who's running your company yet?
Let me ask you this, dude. Do you think that they have any idea who the long-term general manager is going to be? Of course not, dude.
No, unless it's Foley and he's not in yet or something like that, but or The Rock or something. And yeah, like Rygo's comment in the chat, he says from COO to GM. Like, there's no more COO. Forget about that title. It doesn't matter.
It's just it's a case of, okay, we'll come to Raw last night, right? We'll come to Raw and we'll say, well, we'll do this interim Raw GM, and then we'll say that there's going to be a long-term GM at a later date, but we really have no idea who that's going to be. And
we need somebody to give everybody orders and shit like that. So you already know this guy with the weird voice. He'll be the guy.
Right, and in a couple months from now, this storyline will probably be dropped anyways, so we're probably not going to have a long-term Raw general manager.
Oh, yeah, it's a clear sign. Like, don't care about this because this is just like a gap filler until we figure out what we're really going to do, you know?
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. There's just no long-term booking, and people that have half a brain can watch that TV show and say, what the fuck is going on?
From last week to this week, it was a big change. Like, even with the walkout and everything, like, it was completely different this week.
There's no logic. No logic.
They hit the reset button. Again.
They've hit the reset button again and again and again and again and again. You know, dude?
And again, yes.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, so back to Raw, dude. So Vince comes out, right, and...
Well, we just covered that. Yeah, he made Laurinaitis...
Then we get back into Laurinaitis is, you know, the new interim GM, and everybody comes back into the building. Laurinaitis says, welcome back, you know, go get your ass, get your stuff on, blah, 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 blah. We have John Morrison comes up and says, you know what, Laurinaitis, you suck, bro. You suck. And Christian comes up.
And what's funny about that is, like, he was just walking out because the last boss sucked. We have this new boss now. We're going to come in, but I think he sucks too. But I'll come back anyway because everybody else is doing it. Like, why don't you stay outside, motherfucker? You don't have to come work for him. You're already quit.
Nobody's telling you to come back in.
No.
So we had Christian defeated John Morrison. They were both in street clothes. Obviously, they'd come back.
Even like a minute, too. That was weird, I thought.
I don't think John Morrison is, he's either going to leave or they are not going to re-sign him.
That's what I was going to say. I wasn't sure if that would make sense or not, but I was like, look, that looks like usually how you bury motherfuckers on the way out kind of thing.
They buried him pretty good. Morrison's contract is up within the next month or so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Obviously, we're not fond of him. Melina showed up at a WWE live event a couple months ago, actually days after she got released from WWE. She showed up to a live event with Morrison. Obviously, that rubbed people the wrong way.
It was a dumb move. Yeah, just like earlier, you said keep your mouth shut, etc. Yeah. That's the opposite of what they like.
Yeah.
Here's the question. What's up with this group, Christian, Dolph Ziggler, Cody Rhodes, and Jay? Is that a group, or is they just walking around with them last night?
It's Vicky Guerrero's, part of Vicky Guerrero's new...
Well, Christian wasn't part of that, was he?
No, but they...
Where did that link up happen?
David Otunga did a thing a couple weeks ago with the lawyer thing, and he was trying to get people, a group of guys lined up that would, you know, file a lawsuit against WWE for unsafe working conditions or unsafe working environment, you know.
Well, that was the other thing with the Triple H promo in the beginning. Was he was mocking that everybody thought it was too hard and it was too unsafe and like they're a bunch of pussies. And, oh, yeah, I can wrestle a broom, so they suck at wrestling, too. And they're pussies, you know.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
I see,
But when they come back in 20 minutes, everybody care about them again, you know?
Yeah. I see a lot of live phone calls coming up, guys. We'll take those in hour number 2. I'll try to get to each and every one of you guys, but we'll give out the live phone number here in just a little bit. We've got about 9 minutes before we take the hourly break, and we're going to come back with news, rumors, and your live phone calls, whatever you guys want to talk about. So, well, we'll just go through the matches, I guess, dude. Randy Orton defeated Mark Henry via disqualification, right?
I believe it was DQ, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the DQ. After it was over, Henry gave Orton the World's Strongest Slam twice. Rhodes then came in. Pretty much everybody, or no, that was the previous match. Everybody hit their finishers on John Morrison.
Yeah. But what was Big Show in all this? Like, they just did this big thing on Friday and no follow-up.
Well, they may save that for SmackDown tonight at the TV tapings tonight, you know?
You gotta do that on your Big Show. You gotta have the Big Show on your Big Show.
And there you go.
Wearing a big fucking FUBU hat, whatever the hell that thing was.
So after it was over, Cody Rhodes comes out and basically takes him out, puts a paper bag over his head, and then did you see this or not, the Kane laugh where he was like, oh,
No, I didn't catch that, no.
Oh, man, they're trying to get Cody Rhodes over, man.
Well, they gotta take that goofy-ass mask off him. You know what I think they're doing? I think they're gonna do Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes for the IC title, and you're gonna have Randy Orton as IC champion, bro. They gotta do Orton or Big Show and Mark Henry, so they gotta do something with Orton, and I guess if the belt's involved, it's more important. It seems guaranteed mid-carder to me.
You know Orton's not going anywhere but the main event, but for the time being, well over on SmackDown, you've got, Show and Henry. Another guy that they're trying to elevate is Cody Rhodes, and you can clearly see that.
And Sheamus.
And Sheamus, too. But Cody Rhodes, you can clearly see on Raw and SmackDown over the past couple of weeks that this guy is, they're on a roll with this guy. And to put him in a feud with Randy Orton, who's already obviously an established star, to try to get him over even more than what he already is, I think it works, man. It works. If you're trying to get a young guy over, you've got to take that young guy and you've got to put him with a veteran, man. That's the way it works in pro wrestling, right?
Wrestling 101, yeah. I think it should be DiBiase and not Rhodes, though. Rhodes is a little small and he's got the goofy mask and everything. So I think DiBiase's a better promo. He doesn't have a lisp. No offense to people with lisps. But
yeah, no, I agree with that. DiBiase would have been the better pick, you know what I mean? And they both got the famous fathers, too, so you can't really...
Yeah, and plus they don't have the history of legacy, so there's ready-made stuff you can talk about.
Right, they had DiBiase coming out just a couple weeks ago, but it kind of fell sour.
Yeah, he's nowhere to be seen. I think he's working Superstars matches, and that's not even a show anymore. Like, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, well, it's on WZROnline.com, you know.
Yeah.
I do. We had the Divas match. It was a tag team match. Kelly, Eve Torres defeated Rosa Mendez and Tamina.
Garbage.
Rosa Mendez is back, though. I remember coming on here months ago. I said, Rosa Mendez is next to go, man. She's done. She's out of here. She's horrible, bro. She's horrible. You know?
Yeah, she's pretty bad. And one of the top guys must be banging her on the road or something. Otherwise, I don't know why she's still around.
Somebody's doing that. Somebody's hitting it, bro.
Somebody important.
Somebody important. Is that Laurinaitis? No. Speaking of Laurinaitis, God, that guy is horrible. Man, every time
the voice.
The voice and the acting, bro. The acting. They did it again, dude. The way they ended Raw last night. You've got the two worst actors in the company, in David Otunga and John Laurinaitis.
And he's got a fucking bow tie.
Oh, it's ridiculous, man. What a way to end the show. Put on...
Yeah, that was bad. Next week, tag team action. Like, even what they were announcing was bullshit. It was just stupid.
Yeah. Actually, it wasn't next week. It was the Vengeance pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah, Vengeance. You're right.
Vengeance.
So that's the pay-per-view. Jesus Christ.
This is, they're selling it over the fact that Triple H is returning to the ring. I know.
Yeah, well, he just had a match in the last pay-per-view. It ain't not Hell in a Cell, but before that.
Well, it's a tag team match, Night of Champions, but whatever. This is where they fired Ross, right? Laurinaitis comes out to the ring and calls him up, takes some shots at Oklahoma.
We also announced Del Rio versus Cena at Vengeance.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was just a quick announcement, and then
You
then later he comes out and he says, "Everybody stop wrestling right now." What are they doing?
Yeah, dude, it was great.
Stop the match. Why? What do you mean stop the match? What you started for?
Stop the match. We're going to turn this into a tag team match. And then he's like, and we're going to have a match with two guys. What was the exact? With two guys that I have reinstated. And automatically you're like, okay, Miz and Truth.
Obviously, yeah.
Long delay. The Miz and R-Truth, he says. And you're like, Jesus, bro.
Here's Cricket's Joe, man. I hate that they're doing that fucking rap again. Why do they get? It's so corny and cheesy, especially with a white guy going, doing backup for him and shit. Like, what are they doing?
Yeah, I don't know. So the dude, listen, Ross gets fired, right? Walks out and completely no-sold the firing. Just like you're supposed to be like, what? Really? I'm fired? You're really gonna fire me, dude? He tipped his fucking cap and said,
tipped his cap, shook Waller's hand, grabbed his folder, and choom, off he went.
See you later, dude. Peace out.
No grand exit for Mr. Jim Ross, the Hall of Famer.
No sell. I mean, listen, dude. He had no idea it was coming, dude. That was one of those things where
that was not in the script at all.
Everybody in the back thinks, oh, let's go out there and rib Jim Ross. We've done it how many times, but let's do it again just because it's Oklahoma and it's fun to rib this guy, you know?
And the reason that he was fired was because he walked out on Triple H. Why didn't about, 50 other people get fired,
Right,
well, we're going to fire you because you walked out on Triple H. Well, wait a minute. So did Lawler. What are you talking about? Why did he get fired?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Well,
he was the last to leave, if I'm not mistaken. On Raw last week, he was the very, the video package in the beginning I remember seeing. Like, Triple H walks over the ropes, and he kind of looks at JR like, you're the only one, and then JR gets up and kind of like, I have to do this.
I got to tell you, dude, it sucks to have to come on here and just shit all over this show. We haven't had one good thing to say about this show.
Well, I mean, the first 30 minutes we put over a little bit. And, other than that, what do you want us to do? We're giving you an evaluation of a TV show, and it just happens that it sucks. I don't know.
We're giving you an evaluation of a TV show that features absolutely no logic, and it's hard to say positive things.
Yeah, counter logic. I mean, CM Punk, man, this guy was the next big thing, and you ruined it. You ruined it.
He's right back to where he was a couple months ago.
He's a good talker that is kind of near the top because there's nobody really on top anyway, so he has to be near the top. But, he could have been the breakout, change face of the game,
Right. Yeah, it's crazy.
Whatever.
We had a big tag team match. It was Mason Ryan. God, Mason Ryan is identical. I mean, even the way that this guy walks to the ring and then gets up on the corners, right? And Batista, bro.
Yeah, all the way through.
All the way through. I mean, everything he does, man. Look at that guy from the time his entrance music hits to the way he walks down the ring and goes side to side, back and forth, just like Dave Batista. Then gets into the ring, goes into the to the top turnbuckle, dude, to the ring corners, right? And it's just Dave Batista.
It's the same thing, and this was a showcase for him, so there's going to be a lot of Mason Ryan coming up, because clearly they're giving him the beginning of a push here as a single. So
it's an identical look, right? He's got the identical look, dude. Even when Dave Batista had hair back when he first came in, dude, he had the same hairdo last night, dude. It was just Dave.
Well, it wasn't like Batista was the greatest wrestler in the world or the greatest promo. He was simply a body, and Mason Ryan is the same thing. So I think they think they can just promote him the same way they did Batista, and it'll work out the same. But he doesn't have that look.
Same exact thing. And then, we had Alberto Del Rio and CM Punk. They fought to a no contest. Laurinaitis comes out, stop the match, blah, 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 blah. We talked about this. He brings back Miz and R-Truth, and then we had a tag team match to end Monday Night Raw. The end of the match, Triple H came in, right, and basically took everybody down. So
Del Rio pretended he got hurt and left CM Punk hanging. So Triple H obviously comes up to make the save.
And the whole logic, talking about logic again, the logic behind that is, okay, Triple H is basically as COO, right, and no longer COO. And now he comes back and he says, okay, you want to fire me in a management type role, I'll come back now as a member of the active roster, and now I'll fight, and I'll just be one of the guys again, instead of being...
No, not just one of the guys. He's got to be the guy. Like,
right.
My God, he had to come out and scoop all the CM. Like, everything he does is like, all right, let me make sure I'm ahead of CM Punk. Let me make sure I'm here and he's underneath me.
Right. Your Detroit Tigers, by the way, are about to get fucking beat up.
I'm not a Detroit Tigers fan. What the fuck
Yeah, but it's Detroit, dude. You know what I mean?
Stepdad grew me up on Lions, not Detroit teams in general. I don't even like baseball.
It's 1-0 Texas right now.
Welcome.
It's big game 3 tonight. Anyways.
WWE's in Texas right now. I think wasn't Shawn Michaels supposed to come back tonight?
They are supposed to do a DX reunion of some sorts, dude, but that'll probably be post-show. I don't think they're going to do that live on SmackDown.
No. And then they're in Mexico doing TV next week, Saturday and Sunday instead of Monday and Tuesday.
They tape Monday Night Raw on Saturday night, and then they tape SmackDown on Sunday. So we'll have the spoilers up over the weekend. All right, listen, we got to go to a commercial break. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We're going to talk the Tomko situation. I've got the police reports, no details in that. The Sunny situation, Darren Young's WWE suspension. Talk
a little more about UFC, and I actually want to talk about, I just downloaded it. I didn't even know it was out yet, that Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels DVD. I'm going to watch that as soon as the show's over.
No doubt. All right, we'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll come back right after this. You are listening to WZR Radio with Ryan Clark Matt Boone. We'll be back right after this.
Go!
We're back. WZR Radio. Here on WZROnline.com. He's Matt Boone. We'll be here for about another hour. We might go over a little bit because I do want to talk about UFC. We just got so much news to talk about with a couple big stories, but we'll make it up, right, from last week, right, man? We had to leave a couple minutes early last week, so we'll give it.
Yeah, we have to. I got what's-his-face texting me right now saying he wants me to do coverage of SmackDown because he got somebody sending him updates.
It's going to be a late night, man.
Yeah, I know.
What are you going to do? Anyways, all right, get to our live chat room, WZROnline.com/chat. Once again, WZROnline.com/chat. The official website, home, WZR Radio is WZROnline.com. I had some chicken and mashed potatoes during the break, man. I scarfed that shit down. Unbelievable, man.
I get mad when people mix shit. Like, that sounds good, chicken and mashed potatoes. We had chicken here.
Right.
And they made this fucking Alfredo noodle sauce crap with it and mixed it all together. Yeah. I was so pissed because I had 2 bites. I was like, this sucks, man. I would have loved a piece of chicken. Why'd you have to throw it in all this crap?
You know what? I hate when chicken. You know what? They made meatloaf the other night, right? I've got to have all my stuff plain, right? Okay?
Yeah, me too.
If I go to McDonald's, right, I don't want the onions. I don't want the pickles. I want a fucking cheeseburger with cheese, the meat, and the bun. I don't want nothing.
That's it. I have to say it, because even if you say plain, they'll sometimes still put ketchup on it or something. I literally say, I just want meat, cheese, and bread. And when it's tacos, I say meat, cheese, and sour cream. I don't say minus lettuce.
And and I always tell people, dude, people are like, well, do you eat salad or do you put, even on subs, right? Okay, if I go to a local deli, right, and I say, I want a turkey sub, I want the fucking bread, I want turkey, I want cheese, and I want mayo. And I want nothing else on that.
I wouldn't even do mayo. Well, I probably wouldn't even do cheese either. I would just do turkey and bread.
I don't want the lettuce, dude. I feel like if I wanted lettuce or if I wanted a salad, I would go outside, mow the lawn, take some of the fucking excess grass, throw it in a bowl, and put some blue cheese dressing in.
Yeah, or go get some rabbit food and shit. Like, what the fuck?
Dude, give
me a piece of steak. What are we talking about?
It's like, dude, when you bite into a piece of lettuce, it tastes like grass.
It's like you're eating a leaf off a tree or something.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting, man. So everything's got to be plain. And they cooked up this meatloaf the other night, right? And when I do meatloaf, okay, I take a pound of hamburger, I take 2 eggs, and I take breadcrumbs, and I mix it up into a bowl, slap it together, a big fucking thing with breadcrumbs, 2 eggs, and a pound of fucking beef. You throw it in the oven, and you got a meatloaf, right?
Yeah, they do onions and brown sugar and all that shit.
This had onions, and it had tomatoes and big chunks, dude, and I'll eat ketchup. I'll eat the ketchup, okay? The ketchup's not the problem. but chunks, the big chunks of tomatoes.
Take a big bite out of an onion. Ugh.
Dude, oh, God.
Stomach turning. Dude, I went to get these Crystals burgers the other day, and like you have to have them plain, just meat, cheese, and bread. And I don't even like Crystals burgers, but it's the only thing real close by, and I don't really go anywhere.
Right.
So we go to get them. We come back. They're plain, but they got mustard on, which just makes me want to vomit.
Oh,
so we take them back.
Right.
So we get them plain this time, guys. We come back here. They look plain. Oh, there's fucking onions all the way around every one of them.
Jesus, dude.
I said, fuck it. I kept it. I was like, I'm not. I gave them the give them the sister.
You can't do that, dude, because as soon as somebody puts onions, okay, if somebody puts onions or mustard or something, I mean, you could take a knife and you can try to scrape it off.
That's what I did. I took the onions off, but it still tasted like onions.
Yeah,
I couldn't eat it.
Still got that taste, bro. It's still got that fucking mustardy or oniony taste, and it's no, dude. No, make my shit plain. Right?
Yeah,
Tell them, make my
deal.
shit plain.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we got some news to talk about, and then we'll open it up to live phone calls, and we'll go from there. I see this one guy calling over and over. I almost want to pick up and say, "What the fuck do you want?" You know what I mean? Yeah, we'll make him wait a little bit longer. So, here's the deal. We'll start with Travis Tomko. You guys know him, Tyson Tomko. Good friend of mine, has been for years and years and years. This dates back to when I had my foot injury.
He had the same thing, right?
He had numerous injuries, man, but when I had my foot injury, Trav and me had been talking at that Travis.
You're on a first name basis, not even a first half name, but Trav.
What do you want me to call him? Travis?
The T-Meister, double T, titty T's. So,
well, anyways, I had my foot injury, and he sent me up a cast from a former surgery that he had. And it's just a real nice thing for him to do, you know what I mean? And today it comes out, it was reported earlier this morning that he was arrested for a robbery. The police report came out earlier this afternoon, and it's not good. Not the good.
What's the story? What did he do? What did Trav do?
Here's what I know. I mean, the last time I spoke to him was a couple months ago, and he was going through problems with a divorce or wife or something like that, something along, but personal issues with a girl or a wife or something like that. And apparently he suffered injuries, numerous injuries over the years. And, we talk about it all the time here on this show, man. On this show, 90% of wrestlers, I don't care who you are, whether you're a diva, whether you're a TNA, WWE, Ring of Honor star, 90% of wrestlers are on prescription medication. They're on painkillers, man. That's just, it's part of the business. It's part of the pro wrestling business.
Part of life, man.
These guys are on painkillers, man. They're on the road all the time. It's very easy for them to walk into a doctor and say, hey, listen, I'm taking bumps every single night, or 5 nights out of the week I'm taking bumps. My body can't handle this. I need some sort of prescription painkillers. They usually start them off with hydros. You go back into the doctor, you tell them these hydros aren't doing me anything. They'll bump you up to morphines. After the morphines, you get into the oxys. And oxys are just like heroin. It's the same exact thing as heroin, oxycontins. And eventually you get into this where, you're taking, this is going to sound crazy when I say this, but you're taking 80 to 100 pills, if it's hydros, per day. 80 to 100 pills. And I know some of you guys are going, no way anybody can survive that. Let me tell you something.
Oh, but they can.
You start with 10 a day, okay? 10 a day doesn't do anything. You bump up to 20 a day. 20 a day really doesn't do you anything. The next thing you know, within a couple months, you have skyrocketed out of control, and you are at 80 to 100 of these things per day.
Your tolerance keeps going up. What happens is eventually you keep chasing the high. Like it takes 10 just to feel normal, as opposed to taking 10 to get high when you started. Then you got to take 20 to get high, because 10 only makes you feel normal, and it just keeps going up. Before you know it, you're taking 80 to 100 a day, and you're really only feeling normal. You're not like loopy out of it high anymore.
Now, I'm going to read you guys some stuff from the police report. I have this up in front of me here. Yesterday, it would have been October 10th, so this just all happened within the last couple of days. The cop says that I responded to 175 State Road. It was a CVS pharmacy in reference to a robbery. Upon arrival, I met the pharmacist. I cannot pronounce this guy's name for the life of me, so I'll just say the pharmacist each time. The pharmacist says a male named Travis Tomko walked up to the pharmacy and told them that he had lost his prescription of Oxycontins, and asked if anyone had turned it in. The pharmacist advised him that nobody had turned in the prescription, and he walked out. This was actually on the 8th. And we're at the 11th now. So this was on the 8th. This would have been Tuesday. Would have been Saturday. I think he walked in and basically said, I lost my prescription. Has anybody found it? On the 9th, which would have been Sunday, he came back to the pharmacy again. Travis Tomko came back to the pharmacy and requested that the pharmacist give him some oxycodone, which is Oxycontins. The pharmacist then said, dude, listen, I cannot do that. And it's against policy. I just can't do that. Tomko left again. He came back again for a third time yesterday and walked up to the consultation desk and spoke with the pharmacist again. According to the pharmacist, he told him to go back to the safe, and apparently Tomko had been in here numerous times, so he knew how things worked. Told him to go back to the safe and give him all the Oxycontin 15 milligram and 30 milligram that he had. He also told the pharmacist, and this is a quote, do not make me hurt you.
Whoa.
Tomko, the pharmacist then says that he observed Tomko's hand underneath his shirt and pointing something towards the pharmacist. Tomko...
Insinuating that he had like a weapon or something?
Insinuating, pretty much saying...
Allegedly, supposedly, perhaps, maybe.
But never displayed it or never said, I've got a gun or anything like that. Just do not make me hurt you.
That's a threat.
He also told the pharmacist not to get the attention of the technicians, to go directly back to the safe. Basically, it looks like Tomko went to the pharmacy a couple times and pretty much chickened out or asked, you know, can you please front me? I need these pills, man. I need these freaking pills. And the guy kept telling him, no, no, no. So his last resort was to go in there and say, you know what? I'm going to demand that you give me these pills now. So the pharmacist went back to the safe and grabbed 3 bottles. One bottle was full and contained 100 Oxy 15 milligrams. 2 others, the 2 other bottles were partially full, and it's unknown exactly how much each bottle had, but the amount of pills taken was 210 tablets of 15 milligram Oxycontin.
Jesus Christ. He was having a party.
Once he handed the 3 bottles to Tomko, Tomko told him that he needed help with his addiction and then proceeded out the door. So basically, Tomko knows that he's got a problem. They reviewed surveillance tape, and just excuse me while I go through here. I'm just doing bullet points. He left the area.
When did he get to Chili's? Where did that happen?
Okay. I asked Tomko where the other... He left CVS and then headed over to the Chili's restaurant. I guess they call it Carrabba's or something like that.
All right.
And they found him. The pharmacist went to the safe, got 3 bottles, blah, 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 blah. Tomko told me after receiving the pill bottles, he spoke to the pharmacist for approximately 5 minutes before about his drug addiction, and then he needs help. After a short conversation, he left the CVS. So it seems like him and the pharmacist were pretty tight, or they knew each other.
Yeah, he was probably a regular at that CVS or whatever.
Right. Tomko says that he didn't make any threats towards the pharmacist, and he says that the only thing he told the pharmacist was, and this is a quote, "You don't understand, I need the pills." Tomko says that he thought the pharmacist was going to tell him no, and he would have left without a prescription. Tomko stated that he never made a threat or movement about having a weapon. And then
it should be on camera. Everything's surveillance, you know.
Right. Then it came out, we've got to go down here. It just, I mean, it gets into...
He wasn't just taking pills, he was shooting them up, right?
He was shooting them. Dispatch put out a call for a robbery, blah, 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 blah. No. Basically, the whole thing winds up, he winds up in a
I just X'd out the chat, damn it. He winds up in a Chili's restaurant, and he sits down at a table, and he asks the waiter for a spoon. She brings back a spoon, and he says, I need a deeper spoon. I need something bigger than this.
I think somebody make him hold some more pills.
She obliges, and he comes back, and to the bathroom he goes. He was in there for about 30 to 40 minutes, and the waitress had noticed that, listen, I'm giving this guy a spoon. He's been in the bathroom for 30 or 40 minutes. He's not coming out. And I'm sure that she could probably tell by looking at him that this guy is probably pretty screwed up, and they called the cops. Cops came in. They went directly into the bathroom, and at that point, Tomko flushed something down the toilet. What that is, who knows? You can make your own conclusions. Probably whatever he had at that point, whatever he had on him, or left over at that point. And, you know, it turns out that he was shooting Oxycontins, man. And I'm sure it's a lot worse than that, man. Like you say, you know, Oxys...
If you're to the point where you're robbing a pharmacist, and you have a problem.
Well, not only that, dude, but the whole thing, you know, you don't want to speculate, dude, but the main method of doing heroin is by shooting it, and it could be a case of, you know, if you can't get drugs, okay, if you can't get heroin, if you can't get the dope, and you lost your pills or you're out of your pills, right, you do crazy things because you don't want to get sick, okay, you don't want to go through that withdrawal, and Tomko probably said, you know what, I can't score any other drugs, I can't score any other pills, I've got to go and I've got to rob this pharmacy and hope that I get away with it. And, you know, that seems to me, I think it's more, you know, I know oxys and everything else are in the police report, but I think there's more to it than just Oxycontins as far as drugs are concerned. When you are shooting pills, I think that the shooting started with another drug and progressed into...
It could, not necessarily though.
I know. It's just, it's sad, man. He is in jail. He's got a $7,500 bond. And listen, just a couple months ago, the guy, he's not working. Okay, he's not working for TNA, for WWE. Obviously has major issues. There's a reason why he's still in jail right now, or at least as you know, before we came on the air here, he was still in jail. And, you know, either he doesn't have the money to bail himself out, or he doesn't have the people around him to bail him out. But it's not a good situation, and I've sent text messages, I've sent emails. Obviously, until he gets out of jail, I'm not going to hear back from him on that. So we'll see, dude. But it's sad, dude. He's a good friend of mine. He's done a lot for me, bro. I mean, a lot. Over, you know, just the last couple years, dude. Real good dude. It's just sad to see somebody fall into that state.
Yeah. Drugs don't discriminate. They don't care if you're a good person, a bad person, a religious person, a fat person, a girl, a guy.
He's such a good dude. You know what I mean? He's dude. If you guys have ever spoken to this dude, he's cool, man. He's awesome, man. And it's sad to see him like that. Then we've got Sonny, who is in a similar situation, man, where, you know, she showed up to numerous live events. You know, Django in the chat room says, Ryan, get that man into rehab. You can't force somebody, dude. I can send him an email, dude, say, listen, man, if you need help, dude, if you need somebody to talk to, bro, he's not, dude, I'm a reporter, dude. He's not going to come to me, dude. If anybody, one of his close friends, somebody that's down there in Florida, is going to, you know, I mean, obviously, I sent an email and said, dude, listen, if there's anything that I can do for you, please, dude, let me know. But that's nothing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
You gotta want it, yeah.
You can't force somebody into rehab. So, anyways, but I'll try my best, man. I'll at least be there for him, you know what I mean? Sunny, she has showed up to, and I emailed her, but I haven't heard back from her either. So she has showed up to numerous conventions over the last couple months, indie shows, and people say that she's just shit-faced, man. She's drunk, she's off a rocker, sometimes she goes back into her hotel room and she refuses to come out because she's so fucked up, and she was down at the bar just this past weekend. I think it was a Friday night before the convention, and she wouldn't come out of her hotel room on Saturday or Sunday. Had already been paid to do the appearance and just would not leave her hotel room. So she also recently split up with a boyfriend